Hello everyone, my name is Kirill and you are on the AutoAdviser channel. Today we will talk about how to choose the right oil. Many people really wonder how to choose the right oil. Everything is quite simple. It seems that you just need to open the instruction manual and see the recommendations, but of course there are nuances. I once met with major European oil producers who supply their oil to various conveyors. I'll tell you a little secret. All the oil is bottled literally from one barrel, and only then various additives are added there, which add certain performance characteristics. There are several types of oil: mineral, semi-synthetic, and synthetic. Synthetic oils have the best characteristics and durability, and vice versa. Mineral oils are worse and short-lived. The most important characteristic of oils is viscosity. This characteristic is very dependent on temperature. For example, the same honey at high temperatures is liquid, and at low temperatures it crystallizes and turns into a solid mass. The viscosity class of oils is regulated according to the international SAE standard. We must select the viscosity of the oil according to it. There are actually summer, winter, and all-season oils, but most of the people buy all-season oils and use them in their car, both in summer and in winter, but still some people use summer or winter types for certain times of the year. According to the SAE standard, summer oils are marked with just a number, for example 50. But winter oils must have a Latin letter W in the name. And finally, if oil is all-weather, then the marking consists of some number, then the letter W, and then another number, for example 5W30. This is an all-season oil. The first digit in this marking is 5, which means the cold startup temperature of the engine. But this doesn't mean that it's 5 degrees Celsius. There is a special translation table, so the 5 corresponds to minus 30 degrees Celsius. That is, the engine is started at this low temperature. By the way, for those who do not know, the letter W stands for winter. The number that follows after the letter W, in our case it's 40, characterizes the viscosity of the oil. More accurately, this number characterizes the range of changes in oil viscosity at a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. The higher this number, the higher the viscosity of the oil, and the viscosity is measured in stokes and usually in centistokes. The viscosity of the oil should depend on the current state of engine wear, I mean its age and mileage. The greater the mileage of the car, the higher this viscosity number should be. That is, if your car is in average condition, then usually it is 30, but if you already have high mileage, then switch to 40. And so, the conclusions on the SAE marking. There is a special table in which you can look at what time of the year to use the car, what temperatures you have, and according to this table, you need to choose the first digit of the marking. But for the middle latitude, they usually buy 5W. It means the coldest start temperature is minus 30 degrees Celsius. The second digit depends on the design of the engine and the degree of its wear. On average, they buy 30, so 5W30 oil is recommendation for most users. But again, it's just an average info. Don't be lazy. Find the instruction manual on the internet in the end. Open it, see what recommendation is given and specify these numbers. In addition to the viscosity labeling standard, there are standards for composition, quality, and additives. There are actually many of these standards. Popular ones are called ACEA, for example, and APG or API. These standards characterize what additives are there, composition, and so on. There are numbers and letters. If you have any of these standards in the instruction manual, then you need to figure out for yourself what is responsible for what, since the amount of information on the standards is quite large. Also, an important indicator of the quality of the oil is whether its supplier has been certified or not for the primary production and for use in certain brands of cars. There may be different inscriptions on the oil packaging, but there are also two fundamentally different approaches. There are inscriptions such as that this oil is recommended, for example, for the BMW brand, and there is an inscription that this oil has been certified specifically for the BMW brand. So when it is recommended, the word meets are usually written, but when it's certified, it is written approved. For those who didn't understand, the best is when approved is written on the can. This means that the oil is approved by the manufacturer and has been certified specifically for the BMW brand, for example. And the last important thing that I want to discuss with you, in addition to all these markings and standards, you need to understand who the supplier is. Since, believe me, there are a lot of fakes on the market. In Russia, the entire factories they pour oil from one barrel and simply label them with different brands. And these oils are very low quality and inexpensive. It seems to be a well-known brand and cool standards are indicated there, but in fact, the supplier is selling you a fake. Therefore, an important task for you is to determine the legitimacy of the supplier. That is, you should not buy oil from the first person you meet right on the market. You need to understand who this seller is. Is this some kind of a service center or dealer? Or collect some information about the seller, reviews and so on. And one more important point, the oil can be cool and good quality, supplied by a service center, but it is also important to change it on time. There is an oil change policy. Many recommend different numbers, but on average, for good, the oil needs to be changed in the region of 7 to 10,000 kilometers. And then a lot of problems with your engine will be excluded. It will always work in the optimal mode and the oil will always correspond to the declared characteristics. If you drive more than 10,000 kilometers without changing the oil, then the additives in the oil will simply burn out and it will no longer meet its technical requirements, and all the standards and regulations will no longer apply. Your engine will wear out and you will shorten the life of your car. Let's summarize how to choose the right oil. First, you need to eventually find the instruction manual and look at the recommendations. But if these recommendations are outdated or you still don't know what to buy, refer to the SAE standard. Select the oil according to viscosity and the temperature range in which you drive. I told you that for the Europe mostly, this will be 5W30. Moreover, the second figure, 30, depends on the brand of the engine as well as its wear-out state. If you already have decent wear, then you should already switch to W40. Well, the last point. You need to buy oil from a trusted supplier, since there are actually a lot of fakes on the market. And of course, change the oil one time about every 7,000 kilometers. Some change it every 5,000 kilometers. If you want, you can change it every day. The oil change procedure is also spelled out in the instruction manual, if of course you buy high-quality oil. So, this is all I wanted to say on this topic. If you have any questions, wishes or recommendations, be sure to write them down in the comments. Subscribe to our channel and all the best to you. See you soon.